what's happened is the opportunity in Macau is so terrific that it makes other things look less than terrific. So yes, it's true that we are primarily a Chinese company, and that's probably going to look even more so as our third hotel, the Wynn Palace, is being completed in the next 18 months. So there'll come a point where the ratio of a domestic to Chinese earnings is even greater than it is now.
You were the first in Macau, but you've got the Sands in Singapore. Caesars is building in South Korea. As you said, you have a new project that could cost you north of $3 billion. Do you worry that you're going to saturate the Asian market at a time when the Chinese economy is slowing?
In the last 3 or 4 years, our hotel, the Wynn and the Wynn Encore in Macau, have been steadily increasing in earnings in spite of the fact that the amount of casinos has nearly doubled. Our competitors have built beautiful, new, very expensive and well thought out projects, and yet we're still growing. The market has been expanding at a rate that it's allowed the market to add supply because demand has exceeded it. That's been everybody is experiencing growth year over year, in spite of the fact that the amount of enterprises has increased. So when we started the Wynn Palace several years ago, and it'll be completed for Chinese New Year in 16 or at the end of 15, we anticipated that the market would grow adequately for us to prevail and to have a good business. Also, I want to hasten to add that the government of Macau made it clear that they were capping the amount of tables allowed in the market. That is, they were not going to permit unregulated growth. They were going to control and hold down the amount of tables added, so that they made it really clear that they were going to allow growth and expansion to move in step. They were not going to allow ambitious developers to run wildly ahead. That happened in Las Vegas.
Is the government easier to work with in Macau than they are here?
The government is more predictable in China than it is in the United States. The government in Nevada is very easy to work with because we're the industry in the town. You know, gaming and tourism is everything in the state of Nevada. So the political environment is extremely friendly and understanding of that industry. The federal government in the United States is much more unpredictable and unfriendly to business than the government in China is to business in China.
For you,
ironically, as ironic as that may be, as counterintuitive as it may be, it is absolutely true. And you can ask any American businessman that is in both places.
As an American businessman, you have housekeepers to executives. How is the rollout of healthcare.gov, as well as the pressure to increase minimum wage, affecting your business and in turn your end consumer?
Half of my employees belong to the Restaurant and Culinary Workers Union. And the other half, whatever they are being insured by me, by the company. Since the Affordable Health Care Act began to come into effect, which was over a year ago, with children up to 26 years old, my insurance costs for my non-union employees had increased by 43% last year, and will increase by another. Now we switched over to United Healthcare, will increase in September by another 43%. The unions
in Is this going to kill American business? I mean, you're wildly successful.
It's totally irrational that for the exact same program we are paying 43% more. It is because the government has impetuously, without thought and research, flopped into this area of extremely technical information. Everybody that's a healthcare provider, and I have been one, could have been very happy to explain how we could lower healthcare costs and the government could be helpful. None of that was ever asked for or given. Instead, we got 2,700 pages of the worst single piece of legislation in my lifetime.
Does it make you not want to do business in the U.S.?
No, it doesn't make me want to do it. It makes me want to change administrations and get more thoughtful leadership in Washington.
When I think about who's in Vegas right now, March had record months of who was there. while gambling profits are still down, is it turning into an entertainment town, not a gambling town? And does that cost you more money to entertain?
The answer to your question is yes, no, and no, in order to that multi-part question you gave. First of all, in the last decade or more, there's been a steady increase of non-gaming attractions built and offered in Las Vegas, which were not there before. So therefore, people today can have the choice of more restaurants, more shopping, more of everything, even in entertainment, than they had before. So the proportion of non-gaming revenue to gaming revenue has changed because there have been more non-gaming offerings available to the public, so they bought them. Casino revenue in American casino revenue, domestic revenue, is the same and has not grown in the last 5 or 6 or 8 years because of the proliferation of gaming around the United States and regional casinos. But Las Vegas has prospered somewhat anyway, or at least survived, because the increase in international business, all of the emerging nations, China, Brazil, Latin America, Chile, Peru, and Mexico, all those countries have increased their visitation to Las Vegas. And so the growth in Las Vegas has come from non-gaming, and in the gaming sector, and my company's been growing every year in gaming, from international business.